You don't have a strategy. You don't have a long-term plan to actually win this war. Win the war. The men and women are going to be able to do it, but they need to have leadership. When will you show leadership?
We have leadership.
When will you show leadership?
Why don't you show some leadership and stand up for your fellow Democrats who won't fund the troops?
Hey guys, welcome back to the FNN Network. Today we're going to watch Senator Peters really tear into Pete Hegseth. He's doing a terrible job at towing the line for this Iran war. It's not looking good. It gets heated. It's a beautiful exchange. It tells you everything you need to know. I make 2 videos a day, guys. If you like them, please hit them with a like and subscribe. We're going to check out what they had to say.
I want to begin by first echoing my colleagues' comments that we've heard throughout the hearing here and join them in mourning the loss of American service members who were killed in action these last few days. My thoughts are with their families, with a service member who remains missing, and with all those injured during the strikes. And I will continue to pray for their families.
It's good sentiment. You have to say that.
Secretary Hegseth, over the course of the war with Iran, I have repeatedly expressed concerns regarding the administration's lack of a winning strategy and repeated contradictions about the state of the war. It frankly doesn't help that you and your president continues to mislead the American people. You and the
I think that's pretty fair assessment. I believe we've gone through talks after talks after talks of negotiations, and this is looking to be more of a war. I used to think it wasn't a war because it might last 3 weeks. Is that a war? I don't know. I think it needs to go a certain amount of time before it's a war. But now we're nearing on a couple months now, and we keep saying it's going to be over, and then it's not over. It seems like Trump's basically at the point where we're saying we're just going to be at war with Iran.
The president have repeatedly said that the war, as we've heard over and over again, is almost over or already won. In fact, the president alone has said the war is almost over more than 30 times. On March 1st, the president said, we'll be done in 4 or 5 weeks. On March 9th, he said the war was very complete. On April 8th, he declared total and complete victory, 100%, no question about it. On the same day, you declared Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming victory on the battlefield, a capital V military victory by any measure.
Yeah, very overzealous to say such a thing, don't you think, guys? I mean, we're pretty much trapped in this conflict as it stands now.
And yet today, July 21st, we have soldiers whose remains are sadly going to be returned to their deeply grieving families tomorrow.
Okay, we're pulling on heartstrings. A lot of guys out there are happy to be doing it. I have military friends myself, and you know, something about those guys that people don't know is that they do want conflict. A lot of these young men join the military so that they can go do conflict. They're tired of training. They want to get out there in the wartime. They want to feel like they're actually doing something, have a purpose. I don't know if you've ever seen Fight Club, but it's a lot like that. You got to give a man a purpose.
Clearly, the war is not over yet. After months of conflict, our strategy to win remains unclear. I have long said the United States has the strongest military in history in the world, and I have no doubt that our brave service members can execute any mission and prevail in any battle. But without a clear winning strategy, we're at risk of being in another forever war that'll put our service members in continued harm's way and continue to cost taxpayers billions of dollars.
Unfortunately, I don't believe that there is a good strategy for the situation that we've gotten ourselves into. We did not foresee the Strait of Hormuz being such a choke point for America. Trump probably did believe he could get through this war quickly, but it's not panning out like that.
Secretary Hegseth, despite your failure to win this war, you are back now before Congress asking for almost $70 billion in additional funding. You're asking the American people for a blank check because, once again, the Trump administration's efforts have been an utter and complete failure to win this war to this point. So my question for you, sir, is how is your strategy different than what we've seen in the past? So far, we have not seen a strategy that's been successful. You mentioned nuclear material is the primary goal of the war. It still exists. It's
buried under rubble. Their nuclear program can be rebuilt at any given time, and they have efforts, and they will continue to have efforts to obtain nuclear material and create a bomb. and whatnot, that isn't the worst thing in the world. Maybe not. You could let me know in the comments what you think. If Iran had a nuclear bomb, would they use it? Russia got nuclear bombs and it ended the Cold War. North Korea has nuclear bombs and we have peaceful relationship with them. You get the bomb, everybody gets the bomb, nobody uses them. That's the concept of the end of the Cold War.
Haven't dealt with that issue yet. You talk about the destruction of missiles, and yet the missiles that we saw hit recent targets are actually somehow more lethal, more deadly, more maneuverable than what we have seen in the past. So they're obviously improving their munitions. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed, reminding everybody it was open before the war. Prices were lower for everybody until the war, and it still remains closed. And of course, tragically, people, service members, our warfighters, who we care deeply about, are still dying. So what's different? Mr. Hegseth, Secretary Hegseth.
I think your characterization of this incredible effort as a failure is reckless. And I think it's irresponsible. And I think it smears the sacrifice of the troops that are out there making on behalf of the American people to ensure.
It's a bit of a stretch to say that he was disrespecting the military in any way with that statement. I don't believe he said anything disparaging of the actual military men.
Sure that Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. Shame on you and others who call this a quagmire and a failure, and then you want to turn around and say you support the warfighter. Either you do or you don't.
Is the nuclear material still there,
I can
sir?
get you a ticket out to CENTCOM and talk to what
You could support the military and not the war.
those Americans are doing and how committed they are to this effort and how they want to ensure that Iran never threatens their families with a nuclear weapon. That's the kind of intensity that our warfighters have about making sure that Iran isn't capable of doing.
That is the propaganda line that they feed the soldiers, for sure.
Secretary Hegseth, if you listened to my comments, you would have heard me say how amazing our warfighters are.
I heard failure. And the word heard. I heard exactly
I will
what you
tell
said.
you how I use the
Heard
word
exactly
failure,
what you
because
said.
I use the word failure to their leaders. You, sir, are the failure, not the men and women who are on that front line, not the men and women who hold up their honor with distinction. But if there's a lack of a winning strategy, they're in harm's way. Their leaders have failed them. And that's what's happening. We have political leadership. You don't have a strategy. You don't have a long-term plan to actually win this war. Win the war. The men and women are going to be able to do it, but they need to have leadership. When will you show leadership?
We have leadership.
When will you show
Why don't you
leadership?
show some leadership?
We might be stuck, guys. We might be stuck in this conflict for a very long time. We just had the Israelis and the United States merge their military assets. That's horrible going forward. I don't know. We might have an Iraq situation all over again. No more forever wars is what Trump said, but it looks like a lot of forever war now.
Leadership and stand up for your fellow Democrats who won't fund the troops, who stand and play partisan politics while you don't give us the money. You want to stand up here and talk about the troops?
What does money do? Money doesn't change the Ayatollah the way that they believe. It doesn't change the strait. You could send money on it. What is it? We need new technology. We got to pay more soldiers more to go try to die, or what are we doing? What are we doing? What money can we send into this issue to fix it?
You won't show any political
Secretary
courage
Hegseth.
to actually fund our department because you have Trump derangement syndrome and can't actually commit to anything meaningful. So I put this on you, Senator.
Secretary Hegseth, you have trillions. You have over $1 trillion. You're asking for $1.5 trillion.
I wouldn't mind a little more military spending if we were going to use the military properly. Or it could create a lot of jobs at home, making things for the war front, making the uniforms, making the beds, the bunks, all this type of stuff. There's a lot of money to be made off of war, and it's not just in the murder.
It's not a question of money. It's a question of leadership and understanding what it takes to actually win.
Political cowardice of Democrats who won't fund the troops.
I think this is a bipartisan issue. Nobody's happy with this conflict. Everybody loves the troops. Who doesn't love the troops? We love the troops. We don't love this war. We don't love putting ourselves in this conflict.
Senator's time has expired.
Hey guys, that's going to do it for this one. What do you think? You think the war in Iran's a big problem? You think we're ever going to get out? You think we're ever going to fix any of this stuff? Should we have never gone in? I think that's the common consensus of most people in America. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. That's going to do it for today. I make 2 videos a day, guys. If you like them, please hit them with a like and subscribe. And I'm going to see you in the next broadcast.